Hi everyone, welcome to Road to Cat 99. So in this video we will discuss step-to-step guidelines on how to fill the HRQs that is given in the IIM Calcutta application form. Right. Last year I myself filled the complete form, so I have uh, good knowledge about what to fill and what not to fill, on what lines you should fill. Right. So this is the MBA application form for the personal interviews, and there are some of the things that are asked, right? So starting with the very first thing, right, without not wasting any more time, right? First section is extracurricular activities, right? So you need to be very clear about what is extracurricular and what is co-curricular, right? As far as there is no distinction I can see between the extracurricular and co-curricular, you might include some of the activities. For example, if you are very good at running, or if you are an athlete, right? If you are a dancer, if you have participated in XYZ competitions, you can include that also here, right? If you have cracked something. And basically, the nature of activity you have to define, right? What I would suggest is ki don't make like long paragraph for just one activity. For example, if I have won some case competitions, right? So I can say right. For example, if I want one same for example, let's say I was in Delhi University, and I participated in the case competition and I secured first rank there. Right. So nature of activity would be case competition. Right. Case competition conducted by XYZ College of DU, and level may you can college level or the university level. Honorary awards or prizes may you can secured first rank among 400 plus applicants, right? You can put it like this, right? Then after clicking on the ad, you can add, right, nature of activity, cultural, dance, uh, fest, right? Organized by this, then level, and then whatever awards or prizes you got, right? Even if you haven't got any prizes or something, it's completely okay not to mention any prizes or something, but mention the nature of activity and level. As far as the amount of things are concerned, I would say that three or four nature of activities is good to go. Don't mention just one. If you can't think of other activities, what else to be put here, right? Just spend 3 4 days, ask your friends, introspect yourself, and find something good. It's not necessary that you should be awarded with XYZ prize for any activity. If you received any prize, you can put it, but if you haven't received any prize, I think it's good to go then also. But one thing to note, if you are putting something in the nature of activities, make sure that you have a good amount of idea what you are putting in, right? And you can be asked a lot of questions around that. For example, if we are putting in like the cultural dance, right? Uh, Irrespective of the rank or something which you got, they can ask you what type of dance do you do, from where you grew the interest in the dance and everything, right? And then it comes to like case competitions, what type of competitions you won, right? What was your approach and everything. Any question can be asked, and the nature of activities can be anything. It can be as simple as your uh, uh, contributing to the social cause or something like that. But now the thing is that let's look at the 12th question, that is list out your hobbies, right? uh, just give me a minute. All right. So the next question is list out your hobbies, right? Not more than two, with the brief description, right? First hobby should be there and the second should be there, and the hard constant is it should not be more than two, right? Now you have to distinguish between what type of competitions or what type of activities you want to put under the extracurricular activities, and what type of activities do you want to put under the hobbies, right? As per my experience, I would say put something in hobby that you generally do in the free time, right? Participating in some XYZ competition is really not a hobby, right? It can be a skill, it can be something, some type of activity you are doing uh, beyond your normal curriculum, right? Now list out your hobbies. Hobbies can be dance also, hobbies can be painting, hobbies can be content creation, hobbies can be anything, right? So, and a lot of people are confused about hobbies and extracurricular. I would say that the line, the difference is not that great between the two things, right? And if you are still confused, you can put anything under any bucket, right? It would not be of that issue, but it's always advisable to contact your seniors or to contact your mentors for this, right? And when you are putting any hobby, just not mention the name of the hobby, provide some description, and make sure that that description don't exceed a lot of words, right? For example, if you see the career goals, you are restricted to the 100 words, right? So same thing happens with the hobbies and everything. Try restricting yourself to 50 or 60 words only, and giving a precise and a concise description of what exactly do you do. For example, if your hobby is cricket, right? You can say that you love to play cricket, or you can mention other facts that are you a good bowler or a batter or a wicket keeper or something like that, right? Some more description about the hobby, right? And it is also written here that you have to provide brief description, right? Keep it very short. So a lot of students think that the more you explain, the more numbers, the more weightage it has. Generally, the this form is just to know more about yourself, and there is no weightage or there is no criteria attached to this. So they will surely look around the form, in the form, about what you mentioned. And if if they want to ask something, they can ask anything around that thing, because you yourself has mentioned that thing, right? So you must be aware about what you are mentioning. So even if you're mentioning less hobbies, right, just mention two hobbies. If you're mentioning less extracurricular activities, but mention those about which you have complete knowledge, right? Don't mention for the namesake, right? Now, coming to the career goals, this is again, a lot of students are confused about career goals, because really a lot of people uh, haven't made any distinction about career goals, right? Or haven't decided upon their career goals, right? So the general answer, I would say the general answer is something like that. Your short-term goal is to get some experience out of the MBA, right? To get learnings about the MBA or something like that. Okay, and to learn from the case-based pedagogy, to participate in the case competitions. This is the short-term goals, and the long-term goals can be, you can say that I haven't decided upon the long-term goal, or I will figure out in the next 5 to 10 years. Or maybe if you want to become something, or if you want to do a particular type of work, I would suggest that instead of mentioning that you want to become the CEO, be more clear about what type of work do you want to do. Along with mentioning that you want to become the CEO, maybe give some brief description why do you want to pursue that position, right? 100 words is too less. So you have to be very concise. First, start with your short-term goal. Short-term goal, and short-term goal would be obviously getting the knowledge in the next 2 years. So short-term period is 2 to 4 years, right? Or maybe 2 to 3 years, and relate it with that, and show that you need it, right? A lot of students just mention that I want to achieve this thing, right? Or I want to get MBA degree or something like that. But why do you want to get it, right? Don't extend it too much. Uh, maybe put it in like 7 8 words or something like that. And same goes for the long term goals. Long term goals can be of around 30 words, 40 words maybe, and more weightage can be given to the short term goals, because short term goals is really they want to look at like what your thinking process is. Now coming to the academic distinctions and the prizes, awards, or any other useful information. In this thing, you can mention anything, but since it is related, highly related to the academic part, so even if you have achieved something in the 10th standard, even if you have achieved something in the 12th standard, in the graduation days, or in the other XYZ exams conducted by XYZ bodies, you can put everything here, right? But don't put extracurricular or other things, right? It should be highly related, or it should be specific to the academics only. And maybe you have got some rank or something, right? So again, there are these levels. These levels generally don't matter, right? But if you have done something at district level, then don't put it like state level or national level. And one thing I just want to make it clear that a lot of students think that if they make very beautiful form, or if they put a lot of efforts in filling the form, like what do I mean by efforts is that they are just bombarding the form with a lot of things, right? You are opening a lot of area for the interviewers to ask questions on those topics, right? If you are sure that you have done 100 things, put it. But if you are sure, or if you are unsure that whether you have done two things or 100 things. So I would say go for the two things, because you can better be prepared for those two things, and you will be able to answer the questions, because generally you will not be evaluated on the form, right? For example, if I am appearing for the I am Calcutta interview, and if I don't fill the form at all, and if I'm able to justify why I haven't filled the form, right? And if they are convinced, they would still take me. But if I've filled the form beautifully, right? And if I'm not able to justify anything around that form, then obviously I would get rejected, right? The second thing would be a lot of students are using Chat GPT for X, Y, Z reason. Even they have collected the thoughts, but they are rephrasing through the Chat GPT. They are getting answers to some questions through the Chat GPT or something like that. Believe me, the trend of Chat GPT, it's so much that even the professors are aware about that, and even everyone is aware about that, whether the answer is framed by you or by the Chat GPT, because you can easily make a distinction between it, whether the human has written the answer or whether the Chat GPT has written the answer. And these professors, right, they are highly qualified, and they have been doing this job for uh, from last 10 to 15 years. So they have seen that phase where students used to write their answers, and now you are using the Chat GPT. So if you are using that, don't 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 ever do that. Instead of that, try contacting 5, 10, 15 people and get your answers reviewed, right? But don't use Chat GPT at all. It can cost you your call, your candidature, and everything. Because even if you have written very beautifully, and when you appear for the interview, if your words, if your spoken English is not matching to that level, right? For example, you have used fancy words in writing all the answers, but you are not using those words when speaking. They can easily figure out that you have used some software, and they would not need your assurance at that point of time, or your validation about that, right? So this is the like pretty short form, right? You can write, this form will be open till the interview or 2 days before the interview, so you can write the answers any day. But I would suggest everyone to start writing the answers and keep getting it reviewed from different mentors if possible, if you're enrolled in some coaching. If you're not enrolled in some coaching, or if you are looking for additional help, you can any day book me for SOP reviews, or these I am Calcutta or other I am form reviews. The link would be in the description. TopMate link would be in the description, right? And on the ending screen, you can see one video explaining me how to book and why to book, right? Thank you, and I hope you will make it to Choka this year.